First of all, can I welcome this bill? And I think that those of my constituents who have been affected by the collapse of LCF will welcome the fact that as a result of the excellent report which was put forward by Dame Elizabeth, which really lifted the lid on the way in which the Financial Conduct Authority failed in its obligations. And I think that has forced the government into the position where we have this bill today, and I welcome that. But I think that, as other speakers have said, this is not the first time the Financial Conduct Authority has failed in its regulatory duty and left people, many of whom are innocents in all of this. They take the assurances which firms give that they're regulated, that there's protection there, and they invest their savings in it, only to find that their savings are snatched from them. And when one looks at the failure of the FCA in this particular case, it failed to meet its statutory obligations. It failed to take any action, even when it found that a regulated firm was engaging solely in unregulated lending. Now, surely that must have shown, raised some concerns that the firm was using its regulated status to engage in activities which were unregulated. Its staff clearly weren't trained in taking complaints and passing them on. And indeed, as Dame Elizabeth pointed out, its staff were actually assuring the public that the claims being made by LCF were correct and that their savings were safe. And even when fraud was passed on up the line to supervisors, again, it was ignored. So all of these regulatory failures, I believe, do require the government to ensure that there's compensation for individuals. But I agree with the Minister that we cannot simply cover every spiv and every chancellor who tries to take money from people. And if we're going to avoid that, then we've got to have proper regulation, as other speakers have said. And if the Financial Conduct Authority has proven that it is not up to the job, then new regulations have to be put in place. And those who take on responsibility in Financial Conduct Authority have to be held responsible as well. We can't simply say it's the institution, because there are people who are in charge. We've got to avoid this happening again, so that people in my constituency have suffered do not continue to suffer from these kinds of actions.